One day a young man went to Buddha. He seemed very upset. "What happened?" Buddha asked him. The young man said, "Sir, yesterday my father died. I have come to you with a very special request. Please do something for my dead father. When ordinary priests perform rites or rituals, he gains access to heaven. If a great man like you performs any rites or rituals for my father, he will gain not only entry, but also a permanent residence in heaven. Please, sir, do something for my father." The man was so unbalanced, so emotional. Buddha knew that any kind of rational argument would have no effect at this stage, but he had his own way of explaining things. He said to the young man, "Okay, go home right now. Tomorrow morning at 4 a.m., come to this pond. Bring with you 2 earthen pots, some butter, some stones and pebbles, and a stout stick. I will meet you right here tomorrow morning." The young man went home happily. In the morning, he came to the pond with 2 earthen pots, some butter, some stones and pebbles, and a stout stick. Buddha was already there waiting for him. Then Buddha asked the man to fill one pot with butter and the other with pebbles and stones and seal them. The young man filled one pot with butter and the other with pebbles and stones and sealed them. Then Buddha said, "Now walk into the water until the water comes to your chest." The man went into the water. Then Buddha said, "No, gently let the pots into the water." The pots went in and sank. Then Buddha picked up a stout stick, threw it to the man and said, "Take the stick. And now, with a single stroke, you must break each pot. After breaking the pot, if the stones come floating and the butter goes down in the water, then understand that your father has made it to heaven." The man took a deep breath, and in one hefty stroke, he broke each pot. As soon as both pots broke, the butter came up and started floating on the water, whereas the stones and pebbles sank in the water. The man looked at this and got over it and looked at Buddha. Buddha said, "Butter has come up and stones have sunk, whereas stones were supposed to come up, which means your father has not made it to heaven." The man felt totally disappointed and dejected. He turned around and started walking back as he started coming out of the water. His brain started to work. He came to Buddha and asked, "You said that butter will sink and stones will float. But how is that possible? It is a law of nature that stones are heavy. They cannot float on water, whereas butter is lighter and it cannot sink in water. Did you deceive me?" Buddha said, "Young man, you know so much about nature, yet you do not want to understand the law that is applicable to one and all. If your father kept performing wrong deeds like pebbles and stones, then he is bound to go down. Then no one can pull him up. And if he kept performing good deeds like butter, then he is bound to go up. Then no one can push him down. This is the eternal law of nature. If we do good, we will get good results, and if we do bad, we will get bad results." The man understood what was said. He understood the law of karma as explained by Buddha. Then he bowed down and paid obeisance to Buddha and went away from there. If we see in our lives, we will find that this principle of karma applies to all of us. Karma, which is a Sanskrit word, means action, work, or deed, and refers to the sum total of all deeds. One is done through his mind, speech, or body, either in this life or in the previous lives. It is a spiritual principle. It states that every action has a consequence. Whatever you do, good or bad, will come back to you sooner or later in some way. No one can avoid the result of their actions, as one source, social theory. This doctrine, known as the karmic cycle, governs everyone's life. Every moment of life we are doing something, whether good or bad. Good deeds will bear good results, whereas bad deeds will be your bad results. Result of karma is also called fruit of karma. These fruits occur to the individual who is performing the actions. Some of these results are expended in this life, and others remain pending. The pending results are carried along by the soul as it passes from one life to another. The pending results thus become the basis on which the quality of one's next life is determined. In a nutshell, we are the creator of our own destiny. There is no one sitting above and deciding our destiny. Whatever we are and the type of life we are leading is the result of our past. Karma, and whatever karma we perform in our present, will decide our future. That's why Buddha told the man that his father's future life would depend on his karma. If he had done good deeds in his life, he would enjoy happiness and peace. But if he had done evil deeds, he would suffer pain and misery. The word karma has a very deep meaning. It does not refer only to the physical actions that we perform, but also to our mental actions. For example, wishing bad for someone is a bad karma, while wishing good for someone or blessing someone is a good karma. We should always be careful when creating any type of karma, because before karma we are free. But once we have performed any karma, we are bound to reap its fruit. This story teaches us the importance of karma. It teaches us that we should act wisely and kindly, and do only what is right with our actions in mind, so that we can create a joyful and bright future for ourselves instead of a dark and miserable one.